I'm Pastor George Borghardt, and this is another Higher Things video short. Stop talking dirty while talking about the 6th Commandment. That's the subject of today's Higher Things video short. Sorry for the lawish intro, but really, seriously, sometime along the lines, we got in our minds that the church became that ed class where we have to learn about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees when we talk about the 6th Commandment. But we don't really need to discuss what goes where and that goes there when we're talking about Christ and the church. You see, the 6th Commandment isn't about what limits we have or what we can and can't do, or how far we can go, or what parts of our body we should be using. And when we turn it into that, we sort of itch and scratch at that part of us that wants to be a little naughty while being in church. And it's not helpful to young people, or anybody for that matter. All it does is, spark our imagination. The 6th Commandment, first and foremost, is about Christ and his bride, the church. He gives his life for her. He cleanses her with washing her with water in his name and his word. And he presents her to himself holy and without spot or blemish, my bride. We see in his being such a husband how it is to be husbands. And we see by how his church receives his husbandness how it is to be a bride. It's about Christ and his church. He gives his life for her. She receives that. Any place where we would see something that is only in marriage or take that's the 6th Commandment. Where we would be unchaste and undecent, or we would lust after what isn't given us, or take what isn't yet ours. That's where we cross the line. You see, that, and you know what that is the one fleshness of marriage. A man should leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two become one flesh. That is given only in marriage. It's not to be taken before marriage. We are to treat that like we can get really close to it. Like you can get really close to the sun without getting sunburned. Or as the Proverbs say, have hot coals in your lap and not get burned. When we teach about the 6th Commandment, this is not a that fest where we go through all the things that we think we need to talk about, how far we need to go. If you think it's a sin pertaining to the 6th Commandment and you're not ready to do it in public, it's probably a sin against the 6th Commandment. That's enough of that. We don't need to get into that. For if we think about what Christ does for his church and how he is for his bride, then all that other stuff works itself out. And all those other questions work themselves out. So let's make the 6th Commandment, when we teach it, about Christ and him crucified. About marriage between him and his bride, the church. Then that reflected in our lives and our marriages and our relationships before marriage and after. I'm Pastor George Borghardt, and this has been another Higher Things video short.